I wasn't gonna be a hater this year. I promised myself this year. I was like, I'm not gonna be a hater. I'm not gonna do a my worst reads of 2025. I had to remember what year it was. I'm not gonna do a worst reads of 2025 because I don't want to be that person. I don't want to be a hater. I'm bitter and hangry. So I figured, why not be a hater today? Let's be chaotic. I thought my last video was gonna be my last video of 2025, but this either is gonna be the last video or it's gonna be the first video. So we'll see. We'll see. I wrote notes. This is how passionate I am about this. I wrote notes because I want to make sure that I get all of my opinions out there in the world. So this one I'm very passionate about. Well, I'm passionate about all of them, maybe, but this last one I'm very passionate about. I'm taking pauses to eat, so I'm not that hangry, but I don't think it's gonna work. Anyway, this first one, it's a part of a series that I didn't want to read it. I could have skipped it. I thought, you can't just read the series while skipping this book. I could have technically skipped it because of the show. I already knew what happened. But I wanted to read it to see if the show did it as good as the book was, which I can't even say did it good because I hated this book. So the first book is Daphne's book in the Bridgerton series, aka I think it's called The Duke and I. You'll correct me. I hated this book. I rated it a 2.5, which honestly, looking back on it, seems very generous. It's a 2.5, very generous of me. I know, I was feeling nice that day. I felt so nice. But I can't even describe to you how much I hate this book. There's a lot of subtle misogyny in this book that I didn't realize that until someone pointed it out. And now that it's been pointed out to me, it bothers me so bad. And honestly, the misogyny in the Bridgerton series in general, you have to actively work to avoid it, to like ignore it. You have to actively ignore it in order to enjoy the series, I found. As I mean, it was written a long time ago when standards were different. But yeah, now that I've had those pointed out to me, which I'm ashamed I didn't notice it in the first place, but now that it's been pointed out to me, it kind of dampened my love for the books in general. This one I've hated in general. Daphne in the books, I will admit, is better than in the show. She's a little better, a little more not manageable, but standable, I guess is the word I'll use. She's a little better, but still, I'm still not a fan of her. I'm never gonna be a fan of her because what she did, if you know, you know, what she did, I will forever hate her for. I don't care. I don't care how badly she wanted a child. It does not justify what she did, okay? It does not justify it. If you don't know what I'm talking about, how do I describe this without getting the video taken down? She really wants a child, but Simon has been purposely not finishing the job because he doesn't want to have a child. So he's been stopping short, I guess is the best way to describe it. She figures this out because of her mother, I think. I think it's because of her mother. Anyway, she discovers this. Doesn't matter. She discovers this fact, and she gets, she decides to take matters into her own hands, and it's even worse in the book than the show. The show was very generous to her. Because in the books, instead, he is very intoxicated in the books rather than the show. He is very intoxicated, and she forces him to complete the job and possibly make a child. And honestly, the fact that this man had felt the need to come back after freaking out and running away, as he should. He came back and apologized to her for running away. Girl, this was forced upon you. You should not be apologizing right now. I don't understand why this man felt the need to apologize. I don't. She used his trauma against him. he had reasons to not apologize to her. Honestly, I don't think either of them, like, I don't think even an apology was needed. I feel like, you know, it was kind of like fair, I did this to you, you ran away and kind of traumatized me a little bit. I feel like it's an equal exchange. I don't think either side, I don't know. It just angers me. It shouldn't have happened in the first place. It should not have happened in the first place. She should have let him heal from his trauma and then decide to have children on his own regard. It creates a narrative that a child fixes everything, honestly. Because he didn't start healing from his trauma until after the kid was born, I'm pretty sure. And that just creates a narrative that a child is going to fix everything, and that's just not true. That is not true. A child is not going to automatically fix everything. And I don't like that narrative. Simon was my child-free king, and he should have kept being child-free. Wouldn't have minded. Honestly, I don't, like, Daphne deserved to not have children, in my opinion. But honestly, in the show, she should have been with the prince. in my mind, I like to think that she went off with the prince and then he is a child-free king. But I don't know, I'm petty. Anyway, I did not like this book. I pretend that this book didn't happen. And it starts with Anthony's story. It doesn't start with, the Bridgerton series doesn't start with hers. That's just what I pretend. I didn't like it. It goes into F tier for me. And the rest of the books I liked way better. So that book is getting a shout out today. And I'm honestly not even that big of a hater. There's only 4 books in this video. So, hey, I'm not that big of a hater, I think. That or I just didn't encounter anything that I hated. Honestly, yeah. Well, technically 5 if we include my 1 DNF of the year. Yeah, I'll talk about my 1 DNF. Okay. Yeah, let's segue. I'll talk about my 1 DNF of the year before we get into it. And I'm trying not to make this a mukbang, but I'm hungry, so I'm eating. I'm pretty sure I talked about this book in a video that never saw the light of day. But if I somehow forgot that I talked about this in a video already, I apologize. You're gonna have to hear it again. But I'm pretty sure we're safe. So the book I'm talking about that I DNF'd, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna DNF it, honestly. I was still undecided, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm probably just gonna DNF it because I could care less what happens. It is Bonds of Hercules by Jasmine Mass. First of all, I'm not a huge fan of romantasy in the first place, so it probably, no, not romantasy. Honestly, I don't, it's kind of meh. I'm gonna try to get into it more next year. Dark romance is specifically what I'm not a huge fan of. I don't even know if this book qualifies as dark romance, but I saw people posting about it under dark romance tags, so I guess it counts. Honestly, okay, I will say, I gave this book a chance. I got to 66%, okay? It's not like I stopped at 30% and just, I actually gave this a chance, okay? But I could not care less what was gonna happen. I could not care less. I got to the point, like, they were in an arena for some reason. They had, like, this games thing where, like, everybody had, it was, like, a yearly thing where they, oh, yeah, by the way, this video has spoilers. I'm just gonna say this video is gonna have spoilers. So, if you don't want that, you should probably leave. They're, like, fighting in this arena, and they have to face, like, these creatures for some reason, and like a dice roll determines how many of them and how many rounds they have to face. For some reason, this is just randomly thrown in there. And Alexis, of course, I think her name's Alexis. I'm gonna roll with it. I don't know if her name's Alexis. If it's not, her name is now Alexis. But of course, she gets the highest amount that you can. And it's her first time, so obviously they're raging and they're like, what the heck? Why? But Zeus is like, ha ha ha, this is happening. Deal with it, guys. I hated Zeus. I did not care. I could not care what was going on with this. I did not care. I'm sorry to, like, keep repeating that, but I just want to emphasize to you how much I did not care. Like, this part just felt unnecessary compared to, like, the plot I did want to follow, which was the mystery of Medusa. Like, what's going on with her? we're probably not going to find out till the end of the book, and I don't want to sit through this for that long to find out. I'll just Google spoilers. Thank you. I did not care about anything else aside from that, but it felt like we were just never going to get to that part, and if they did get to that part, it was going to be right at the end, and it was going to be wrapped up in a bow, and I did not want to, I didn't care to sit through the rest of it just to figure out that part. Like, I'll Google it. I don't know. My luck, that would be pushed to the third book, and we would never find out. So I don't care to find out the rest. I don't. And also, I heard a spoiler that apparently Augustus. Okay, so correction, it was not Augustus. It was Achilles and his boyfriend. I don't know where I got Augustus from. He's another character. Okay, bye. And his boyfriend. I don't know the names of these people. I could care less. I'm sorry. I don't remember character names in the first place. But their partnership, they insert a female made character for them. Like, that's not Alexis. They just make up this random new character to be with them, and that solves the problem. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard. And I'm not here for that. I don't, like, they could have solved it in a better way than that, than just making a new character for them. Like, no, I'm good. I don't care to, and honestly, I don't care to figure out if that's true or not. I don't, normally when I get a spoiler, I'm like, okay, I want to know if this is true or not, so I'll keep reading to find out. I don't care enough to find out. That's just it. That's all. It all could just be summarized in one word. I don't care. And I'm okay with that. Sorry to everybody who really loves this book and Jasmine Mass. The first book was okay, in my opinion. It's not on this list because I don't remember hating it enough to really put it on this list. Honestly, I think that was because I was on a plane to my study abroad when I read it, and it was the case where I had nothing else to read. So I think my reaction was skewed into the enjoyment side because I was both very sleep deprived and I had nothing else to read. So I think that is why I rated that one as high as I did. I think I rated that one like a 4-star. Honestly, I would probably move it down to a 3-star now, which I don't know if I am a fan of moving down my ratings as time goes on, but honestly, I might make an exception for that book. So, okay. Anyway, I don't have any interest in continuing the series. I have no idea if it's going to continue. I don't really care if it's going to continue. Sorry, Jasmine. I'm sure you're great. But I don't have any interest in it. I'm sorry. I might read, if she has other books, I might read those. I don't know. At this point, I don't know. But not anytime soon. I have other priorities that I want to read first. So, this next one is Fall I Want by Lyra Parrish. This one was a 3-star, so it was kind of mid. But the reason that I'm putting this on this list is because of the next book on this list, which is A Very Merry Mistake, which I rated it as a 2.5. It's also by her. I'm talking about these both at once because they have the same problems. The same complaints that I had were across these two books, okay? And so my reasoning, once the pairing does first of all, it's insta-love, and I'm not a huge fan of insta-love in the first place. But once these two, that is all they can think about, and that is all they talk about, is being intimate with each other. Like, I'm serious. They can't have a conversation without an innuendo coming up or one of them initiating something. It's constant. At least it feels constant. Like, they are so, like, horny for each other that's all they think about. It's like a high school couple. It's like a high school couple that just discovered what making out was. It is insane. And it's hard to believe that these characters are 30. It really is. 18-year-olds who are fresh out of high school and they just discover this for the first time. Like, that's the vibes I'm getting. And it's not. They're 30-year-olds. They should have, like, some restraint. Okay. I don't mind heavy smut. I don't mind a heavy amount of smut. I do like a little bit of plot with it. But it's insane. It's just insane how they, like, literally can't. It's like they have little moments, but then it's just such a big shift, I guess is the best way to describe it. Like, they don't seem like the couple that would do that before. Like, they don't seem like the type that would be handsy and not keep their hands off each other before that. So it's just a weird shift, and it's like, oh, this feels out of character. It's strange. I don't know why it does that, and it's exactly in the 60 to 70% range of the book is when this happens. And when it happens, it kind of makes the book slump for me, and I've kind of just like, what am I doing here? Like, it feels like the plot just like plateaus, and like nothing's happening after, aside from like loosely tying up loose ends that don't even like that. It just the books, okay, I think A Very Merry Mistake was 500 pages. It could have been 400. I'm just gonna be honest, it could have been 400 pages. Like, they could have wrapped up the tension a lot sooner, and some scenes could have been cut out, and it would have still made sense, still been concise, and it just felt like it was dragging. Both books, honestly, both books felt like they were dragging around the 80% mark, and it was kind of just like, what are we doing here? This could be wrapped up so much sooner. Why? It kind of feels like we're just leaving, like, it's like if you cut out a lot of the smut, the books would be way shorter and it would be more enjoyable. But that's just my opinion. Look, I read heavy smut, okay? I do. I will admit that. I'm not ashamed of that. But this was just a bit much. Okay, I like smut that has a purpose. But it didn't feel like there was a purpose. We already believed that they were there in love. You did not need to prove that 10 times by them having, like, intercourse every chapter, okay? We don't need to proven. Honestly, I think the issue for me was just her writing style. At the end of the day, I feel like it's just her writing style, because it's like the foundation of the story, you know? It's like the basic foundation. It's not the characters, it's not the setting, it's not that stuff. It's just the basic writing style, I think, is what it is for me. It's just not for me, and that's okay. Not every author is going to be for you, and that's totally fine. It's gotten to the point where I don't know if I want to read A Very Merry Mistake sequel, which sucks because I do like that brother character, but I don't know. Maybe if I need a book to just be mad at. Now, I'm not planning to. And the last book is 3 Holidays and a Wedding. I don't know the authors right now. You'll see it on the picture. This book, I tell you, I don't know if I've been a hater. I think I've already been a hater on it in my last video, the holiday books, but I will be a hater again because it deserves being a hate. It deserves the hate. I'm sorry. It deserves the hate. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, actually. I'm not sorry. I did not like this book. I rated it a 2-star. When I rated it, I forgot to mention, I rated Fall I Want 3 and A Very Merry Mistake 2.5. This one got a 2-star. And that is my lowest rated book of the year. I did not like this book. I did not. I don't even know how to go on and describe to you how much I did not like this book. Very not for me. I was very much not the target. Actually, I was the target audience because I normally would enjoy a Hallmark type book that like has a happy ending and everybody is cozy, but I didn't like this one. I didn't. It was just a bit try hard, but it was like, okay, this book, I tell you, it is like, it's written by 2 people. It was like if 2 people wrote a book, but they didn't share any notes about what they were writing about. So the characterization was very inconsistent, because like each person wrote one character's POV. It felt like it was like undoing itself, and it was like they didn't talk and didn't like establish basic facts about each person before they started writing. It kind of just felt like 2 people's take on the same thing, and it was like slightly inaccurate and like wrong. And it was like, I don't know which one's right. 2 people can write a book together and have it be very successful, but I don't think this one was very successful. First of all, the book takes place in the early 2000s, which is fine, but you got to make it believable that it takes place in the early 2000s. They kept including modern lingo that just wouldn't exist back then. Like, they called the two sisters Grumpy X Sunshine, when that was not a phrase that was used in the early 2000s. You could have just said yin and yang, and it probably would have fit better. But yeah, it just, they were using modern lingo, and it just felt so out of place, and it would like take you out of the story. And also a lot of it just didn't make sense. And like, for example, how is this tiny town so snowed in that the airports are shut down for a week straight, but they're still able to go out and do things? You'd think if they had a control on the snow to where these people can like go out and like go to the store, go yada yada, that the airports would have something under control to where the airport would be able to run. I don't know. That's just a nitpick I have. It just doesn't, it's like, it feels like plot convenience that the airport can shut down for a week and just casually, like, no one's working to fix it. I don't know. It's just, it didn't feel realistic. And honestly, it was a little, it felt a little convenient. Like, everything just was plot convenience. Like, this guy happens to know somebody who can charter a plane in, like, flights can come in, but they can't go out for some reason. Make it make sense. Okay, a whole film can be filming can take place on a movie set in this blizzard, supposedly. Like, girl, what? Like, you would think that the production would be shut down. I don't know. At least they don't, like, they're not clear on if the production is shut down or not, because they mention them being extras in the movie. So, like, in theory, it's still going, but they don't talk about it. It's just weird. Like, they talk about them being stranded for Christmas, but that's about it. So, like, I'm assuming that the production shut down, but they never said that the production shut down, so it was a little weird. It was kind of just like, okay, I guess you're shut down for the holidays, but they didn't, I don't know. That's just another nitpick. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, and the sister, I hated the sister. Oh my gosh, her reasonings for wanting to get married so soon and dumping all the responsibility of planning the wedding on the sister was so bad that I literally almost threw the book across the room. Well, my phone, because I was reading it on my phone. I almost tossed my phone, and I had to, like, compose myself. Like, she dumped all the responsibility of planning the wedding on her, which was very stressful, by the way, because it was planned in like 3 weeks. The wedding was in 3 weeks, and she had 3 weeks to plan it. She dumped all this on her sister because she thought it would help her get out of her slump. Like, girl, you think this is gonna help her out of a slump? I think it would put her in one. Like, you're gonna stress her out when it unnecessarily, you don't even care when you get married, but you're gonna act like you want to get married on this specific day, and that's why she's doing it, because she wants to make you happy. But you think it's gonna help? Like, no, girl, get out of here. Get out of here. Go. It is frustrating. Go sit down. I don't know. It was frustrating. And like, as a sister, if my sister did that to me, there would be war. There would be bloodshed. Like, hi, Sammy. Sorry. Don't ever do that to me. She wouldn't do that to me. She's a good person. But yeah, no, like, I can't. I can't. No. It made me so mad. And the boyfriends were just like, they were just insert love interest here. That's what they felt like. They didn't have any characterization. I mean, they had a little bit, but not to where it was like convincing. Like, you're supposed to convince me that these are good love interests for them. No, I shipped the two female main characters with each other. I shipped the two female main characters with each other more than I shipped them with their respective boyfriend love interests. Like, they had more chemistry than those two did. And it was frustrating. I honestly, the book would have been better if they were gay. I'm sorry. The book would have been so much better if they were gay. And it's, and I don't know why this book would have benefited so much if it was timeless, if they had not specified a year. Because the fact that in the early 2000s, they happened to land in the most diverse town in history, like, puts towns this year to shame. Like, so ahead of their time. in a mythical world that is, it honestly felt like a mythical world. Like, this town was so ahead of its time. They gave everything out for free. Like, it just felt so unrealistic in the early 2000s. Like, I don't think a town like that would exist realistically back then. And, like, that's okay. But maybe it would have a shot of existing right now. But I think they should have just made it a timeless movie. Like, they didn't, not timeless movie, a timeless book. They just hadn't specified a year. Actually, speaking of movie, this whole book felt like a screenplay. It felt like they were, like, the way they were describing things, it kind of felt like it was like setting a scene for a movie than it did for a book. I don't know how to describe to you the difference, but that's the way it felt. That was the vibes I was getting. I was like, this could have been, it felt like they were trying to make it like a movie plot. And, like, if you want your book to be a movie adaptation, that's totally fine. But you gotta have it stand as a book. Like, you can't, like, take Suzanne Collins, for example. Her books are dynamic and they stand as their own, but they also can be made into great movies. That's great. But you can't, like, the book can't give the vibes of wants to be a movie so bad. Like the way it's written. Like, and I saw somewhere that this book originally started as a screenplay, so that's probably why. But I don't know. It just wasn't, it just wasn't for me. I could rant about this for hours, and I did on Pagebound. I did. So many people, that's the only reason I read this in the first place. It was a read-along on Pagebound, and so many of us were hating it together, so that made me happy. No offense to the authors, but I just, not for me. I was not an enjoyer, and I probably will not read any of your other books. Sorry, I don't think the writing style was for me, and that's okay. But it just wasn't for me, and that's all I can say. That's all I can say. Anyway, that's it for today. My ranting about all these books. I got very passionate. My bad. I'm looking forward to next year. Let's see what I find next year in the hater zone. But hopefully I don't have very many books to hate next year, because that would just be torturous. That's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this rant. I do not recommend these books. I don't. But if you want a laugh, maybe you'll like it. I don't know. Maybe you'll like it. Maybe you'll like it. I'll get going now. Have a good one. Drink some water. Pop in energy drinks do not count. Yeah, goodbye.